You are listening to episode 134 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John, and I'm joined by Ryan.
Hey, everybody. Here at the Game Deflators Podcast, we like to talk about games for the summer, games that are chill, and our top 5 list of summer games in this week's Staycation Vacation Challenge.
You didn't get enough of a staycation in 2020? We need another one in 2021?
Hey, we're talking about all the fun summer sun time games that will keep you inside of your own home this year.
I did summer 2020.
All year 2020 summer staycation. I know. It's maybe this wasn't the most apt idea, but it works, right?
Yeah, I literally have not gone into like my office for work since March of last year. Yeah, March of last year. So I've been home this whole time, and it has not been summer. So maybe a list like this is just what I need to kind of like get away from that and actually have a summer at home that's fun and chill.
Right.
So good stuff. No, I don't think it's too far-fetched. But yeah, so this week, summer gaming memories and summer games that we've enjoyed in the past. Some of the stuff that we feel is, kind of similar to our, our starter kit showdowns in a sense, right? We're going to be picking 5 games that we think that you guys should definitely be purchasing, sitting back during the summer, enjoying, and then of course make the judgment on
a
who had
little
the
less
better
budget minded though, because sometimes you gotta spend a little money to have some fun.
Oh man, like I was totally under budget if we were doing budgets, whereas you were well over in what I would have seen. So yeah. We'll get into it a little deeper here, but dude, so we're not going to talk pickups. We're not going to talk currently playing. I think we can all agree Ryan is not playing Persona right now. He's probably not playing Mario Odyssey. I have not picked up
or played anything since the last time we talked.
Yeah, you picked up last week. You got some PlayStation games, but other than that, nothing. And
yeah,
and
they haven't refreshed PS Plus yet, so no new pickups.
Yeah, so
not till June.
I did get the one Stranded Deep, right? I got that game, but other than that, no pickups for me either. Okay, so and then currently playing Jade Cocoon still. Hopefully have that beat here pretty soon. And then, if Ryan doesn't beat his game, some Blue's Clues will be coming his way. All the way through. As we talked about last week, he may be just beating the entire game to reconcile for his, past mistakes of not beating other games.
Or just to continue being lazy.
Or that too, yeah. So we'll get your handy-dandy notebook out here pretty soon. You know what? I might add to the ante, dude. If you can't beat both, you might have to beat Spice World too.
Okay, now things are getting out of hand.
I did find my copy.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, while digging through and undoing the loft. All right, so summer gaming memories. Ryan, we'll kick it off to you, man. The year is what, 2000?
That's a good year.
And 5, we'll say 2005. And
high school
years, and you decided you
waited for that Xbox.
That's not sophomore years for us anymore. It's more like senior year. But you got that Xbox, and you're kind of chilling back, and what else are you playing?
So, summer of 2005, what was I actually don't know what I was playing in summer of 2005.
Dude, I don't think either of us knows what we were playing 2005.
So, bad question to you. But
you might have been playing Evil Dead.
No, I definitely was not.
Well,
that was last week.
It came out in 2005.
Right? I could have been. I didn't own an Xbox, though. I was waiting for the 360 still at that point.
Gotcha.
But, I think summer's an important time for, everybody, kids especially, kids in school. You get out of school, now bedtime doesn't really matter. Maybe you go on a family vacation, but for the most part, it means hot days. At least we're in Arizona. I had hot days growing up.
For me, it meant ocean.
Summertime was sitting inside, playing some games, chilling with some friends, still going outside and having a good time, but trying not to overheat and die. The ritual of summer and E3 and being able to just play games all day long, it meant a lot. And there's so many different things. I always remember Game Boy being the shining summer thing, because if you're in that 6-hour car ride or that 3-hour plane flight, you got to have that Game Boy. You got to have fresh batteries. You got to have the latest Pokemon to catch. That's always been very summer for me. Going and visiting my aunt, she had a Game Boy and Mario Land 6 Golden Coins. So I always associate that game with summer kind of too. I had a Gamecube, like the screen.
Oh, nice.
For like the car ride. So like playing Smash and stuff like in the car ride with like a friend on the way somewhere for a vacation, going to California. Like that was a great time. Summer was like also the time where, you know, if you couldn't be left alone at home, you'd have to go into work with your parents. And my parents, they had like office computers, but nothing like crazy. I was never a big PC gamer anyways, but like just days and days of endless Flash games online. I especially love Cartoon Network had these like cartoon summer resort games that were like point and click adventure kind of games featuring all like the different cartoon characters like Cow and Chicken, Ed, and Eddie, you know, all the different characters like around Johnny Bravo. You're doing like stuff for them and everybody's like chilling by the pool, like summer vibes, man. That's kind of what we wanted to get into this week, is like all these summer vibes. I mean, you're Mr. Florida man. Like you live summer year round practically, right?
Yeah, right. Like that's pretty much what it was. Yes. I mean, we used to just do a lot of fishing and a lot of diving and swimming and everything else for the most part. But, you know, when I did get my hands on some video games, one of the key things that I reminisce about the most is LAN parties with some Halo.
Halo LAN parties.
Xbox. Yeah, for sure. So we had about 4 or 5 kids in Justin's neighborhood that would come on over, and that's all we would do, man. I know I've talked LAN parties before in Halo, but dude, there's something like, if you didn't live through that, you truly missed out. Being able to do like a long 50-foot Ethernet cord from one side of a house and a TV to the other, and having 2 groups of 4 just kind of chilling out on each side, yelling across the house. Always good stuff, man. And we actually, I brought this up before, and we had the Xbox hooked up at my house in a 360, I think. No, it wasn't a 360. It was just a standard Xbox. But we had like a good 100 feet of LAN cable. We were like Googling every single thing that we could to try and extend our LAN cable from one side of the house to the other. And we're talking like the loft on one side of my house all the way to the other side of the house. So,
man, you guys were really worried about screen looking, weren't you?
Yeah. We were totally like paranoid about screen looks. But dude, yeah, well, I mean, dude, I played with Justin and my brother, like the 2 biggest culprits to looking at a damn screen. I'm not kidding you, dude. I can't tell you how many times like I would be camped out in a corner and Justin would just randomly snipe me. I'm like, how did you see me? He's like, oh, I knew where you were camping. I'm like, oh, I wonder how you knew where I was camping.
Screen look.
He's such a pathological liar when it comes to video games. Like, no. Like, I knew where you were. No, like, I got that headshot fair and square. Oh, no. Like, I didn't realize that rocket launcher was going to hit the Banshee you were literally just about to walk into. Like, every single time, dude. All the time. So it got to a point where we were like, nope, we're not. I'm not screen sharing with you anymore. And coincidentally, I would kick his ass when we weren't looking at screens. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Funny how that works out, huh?
Yeah, right? So that was a big one for me. Summer, dude, dedicating tons upon tons of hours to RPGs. All the time.
That's what I need. I need a child's summer to be able to get through Persona.
Yeah, right. Nothing like a little pandemic, you know, would have helped you out there.
It didn't. It didn't help me.
It didn't help you out. Yeah, it didn't help me out either. I mean, just somebody was. Oh, we were talking last night at a party, and my wife was like, "Oh yeah, I had like a good month off of work and everything because like I caught COVID, and it was like 2 weeks of having it, and then she couldn't go to work because I had it." And then she caught it like the tail end. So she had another 2 weeks that she got to hang out at home. She's like, oh, yeah, I just played like a month of video games and I got paid. I'm like, yeah, I had to work the entire damn time because I was already working from home. There wasn't
no sympathy.
Yeah, John, like, go ahead and take the 2 weeks off. Like, you're good. So she's just like banging through all these crazy amounts of games. I think she beat Dante's Inferno and a couple God of War games during that whole month. And I'm just sitting there like every day, like 8 to 4. 9 to 5, like just every day doing my regular thing and not being able to leave the house or play games because she's still playing them. So yeah, pandemic didn't do me any good either. But yeah, so long RPGs. I think my brother and I would play a lot of Legend of Dragoon. I would watch him play it at least.
Legend of Dragoon is such a summer game for me. There's just like I had to have gotten it during the summer because I always remember like playing it during the summer.
Yeah.
And like that's when you had the time to like, or at least I had the time back then to actually sit down and play these long ass RPGs.
Yeah, I think my fondest memory is going to be probably Final Fantasy X. So during the summer, Justin and I were like, we're going to like completely destroy this game. We're going to capture every single monster. We're going to get the monster fighting arena completely unloaded, get all of the ultimate weapons, and just level up sphere grids. So it was so stupid. I probably brought this up in the past, but we got Yuna to like however much attack that she had. And we were dealing like 40,000 damage of Yuna's like simple attack. So we got to the end battle at Jekt, and we're just like, ping, with Yuna, and then his whole form is gone. Like the next form comes up, and we're like, holy crap. So it was so funny to just absolutely demolish that game. Summons doing like 99,000 damage in that game because there's just like no caps on the 9,900. Well, there are, but you get certain abilities that allow you to uncap it. And it's just so stupid, dude. Like Blitzball, we had beaten every single component of Blitzball that we could. It was just stupid how good the players were. Like, we played a lot of Final Fantasy X that year.
Final Fantasy X is also like the summariest of summer games. Like,
yeah,
it's all beach and water and like the beautiful cutscenes, like when they're like on the boat heading to whatever that Blitzball tournament is. And just watching those visuals as a kid, it was like, oh my god, yes, I'm here for it.
Unlocking a eject shot, dude, that thing did wonders. Like if you could beat the Blitzball tournament, you needed the eject shot for sure to be able to beat the Blitzball tournament. So I remember the first time I played Final Fantasy X, I did not beat the first Blitzball tournament. The second time we ended up beating it, and then the third time we just crushed it. So yeah, I beat that game 3 times, crazy enough. And then the other one was, I remember there was one summer, dude, where like all I did was play Fallout 3 on the Xbox. I'd wake up, I would play Fallout. I would eat lunch, I'd play Fallout. Eat dinner, play Fallout till whatever time. Go to sleep, wake up like middle of the morning.
Was that Fallout 4?
No, Fallout 3.
Oh, Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And just like, no, Fallout 4 came out when
I
was out
right.
here. So it was just like Fallout 3 every single day during the summer. And what sucked is like I was just trying to unlock everything I could, and I blew up the town, like Nuketown or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I blew it up, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that was fun. I go out there, and there was like a game-destroying glitch. Like, I could not progress any further because of it. And after that, I turned it off, and then I rebeat it, actually, when I moved out to Arizona. So, good stuff. But that was just straight up, dude, like the whole summer exploring every single area of that wasteland. It just... finding the Nuka-Cola factory for the first time. Like, I didn't use any sort of like maps or grids. It was just like fun. It was just exploring it, and it consumed my life for one summer.
That's a good one to give your life to. Like, I was thinking about I've definitely done that with games like Skyrim and stuff. I mean, all those kind of games you really live that kind of play style with. Eventually, at one point or another, if you're really into it, you just kind of eat, breathe, and sleep that game.
Yeah.
But, it's so different. Like, Skyrim cannot be a summer game because it's all winter. Well, it's like snow everywhere. It's all Vikings and mountains and it's not a summer game.
Well, and Skyrim is life. I mean, it's been what, 10 years since Skyrim was released, I think. It's actually kind of ridiculous how long it's been out. It's been out since PS3, I think. That's insane to think about. But at the end of the day though, those weren't like my chill games, like games that I could just kind of sit back and not have any like crazy worry in the world. So for me, I would say that when it came down to just kind of relaxing in the summer and sitting back, I would play some Mario games, not many, because there is some stress in those pending like what you're trying to accomplish. And I would replay Super Mario World and such, like a lot of people have over the years. But for me, it was always sports games, dude. Like, I could sit back and play hours upon hours of Madden, or start up a new character in MLB The Show on PS2 and just kind of sit back and play that for a long time, playing some NHL hits and relaxing on that one. Hotshots Golf, another fun game to just kind of really just sit back and not worry, man. And it depends on like what type of mode you want to play it on, but it was just fun to like sit back and play those games, and especially baseball games like MLB The Show, having such a long season. And I mean, it's a summer game anyways, right? Like baseball inherently is a summer based game. And so to just play that during the summer always made the most sense. And like keeping track with my team and then also playing my game at the same time was always a lot of fun. So I remember I had a pitcher that I created in that game after myself, and the guy was throwing like crazy, like 102 mile an hour fastballs and was like banging out home runs as well. So it was like absolutely insane that this player that I created was just like 75 home runs a year and like striking out however many
just
batters.
Superhuman.
And, yeah, just superhuman type game. And it was just a lot of fun to play that particular character. Like I think I had like a 600, what was 600 average or something when I was playing back then. Tons of fun. Like just sit back, relax, and just play that. So how about
I never
yourself?
got into like sports games really so much, but like definitely there with Mario. Like Mario games are like super chill, and I mean like Sunshine is the epitome of like a summer game. Maybe not the chillest of the Mario games. That one's like a little wonky with the controls sometimes, and maybe gets you a little bit out of that, especially on like the sand levels where you don't have flood. But like, yeah, Super Mario World, super chill to just sit back and play through. I love like some Mario Kart, some Mario Tennis on N64. Those are like, just relaxed.
Dude, we had a blast playing Mario Tennis.
What else? Yeah, big long RPGs like you were talking about. Weird games that are like not, not necessarily like puzzle games, because puzzle games can get pretty stressful. I mean, some people really zone out and zen to those kind of things, but like stuff like Pilot Wings, where you just kind of play, or Katamari or Animal Crossing, like games that like, are just for the fun. Simulator games, very much in the same vein. Any MMO, like I remember spending lots of time on RuneScape during summer also. There's anything where you could just kind of sit back and unwind and you don't have to worry about the stress. Like God of War, not a summer game. That's an intense game. Grand Theft Auto, there's a good summer game.
Oh, dude, for
nice,
sure.
Relax, just blow shit up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto is definitely a game to play during the summer for sure. Like 100%. Being able to get the 5 stars and just run around and destroy everything, get the police to chase you. That was always fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay. Well, dude, I think we can go through and do our list.
So we each came up with our top 5 summer games that are chill and fun and we enjoy. They're very different lists. Like, usually we've got some overlap, but we've got completely different values. We've got completely different lists of games. We've got completely different consoles of stuff. I'll start.
Okay.
So I came in way on the high end of the budget for this one. So if you guys are looking for summer games on the cheap, you'd be best looking at John's list. So my total list, I'll get to that at the end. So number 1 on here, Zelda the Wind Waker. Beautiful blue oceans and skies, sailing around, doing the Zelda thing. There's pirates and treasure and colorful cartoon graphics. I mean, Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker like really kind of brought that era that like Breath of the Wild is in now, like that open-ended Zelda where you can go and explore anywhere, and like just the vibrant bright colors and stuff. Like, I wanted to put Breath of the Wild on here, but I've already got 2 other Switch games, so I figured I'd throw it out there for Wind Waker. And I didn't put Wind Waker HD because I just feel like collectors, maybe the GameCube one's better. Like, if you've got a Wii U, you probably already got that. If you're just getting into collecting, this is a must-have for the GameCube, I feel. So that's why that's on here. I went with PS4 for this next one. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. This is also available on Switch, so you could get it on there too. That's where I have it. I just didn't want 3 Switch games on here again. So, Crash. Like, Crash 1 especially. Like, you open up on the beach. Crash doesn't wear a shirt, man. No shirt, no worries. He's just spinning around, hitting boxes, stepping on crabs, island hopping. Super summer. Super fun. The Insane Trilogy has like all 3 games on there, so that should keep you busy all summer. I guess I should be talking about prices on these too. So Wind Waker was $62.25.
Ouch.
Crash is actually the cheapest game on my list at $19.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Pokemon Sapphire. You gotta have a Game Boy game. And I'm going with the Game Boy version. I know that Alpha Sapphire is out there, and you could definitely get that and play that, but there's just something nostalgic about the original for me. It's like one of my favorite Game Boy games, one of my favorite Pokemon games. I would love to go back and play that one more so than the remake, actually. But it's the one with Kyogre, and you're in the ocean, you're diving. There's like a lot of different like mechanics going on. It's got Wingles in it. Very summery for me, very beach vibe for me in that one. Most popular game of 2020 and the chillest game ever, Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is the one that'll keep you going all year long. I mean, I touch base with it every so often, usually for like holiday stuff, just to see what's going on. I think that there's going to be a bunch of new updates announced next month at E3 for this game.
Well, next week.
Well, that's next month.
No, it isn't. We're in June.
It's May right now.
No, it isn't. It's June 5th today.
No.
While we're recording, it's June 5th.
Oh. Yeah.
You're thinking last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right. You're well off on your recording days, dude.
I'm chill, man.
You're
I'm already in summer.
Yeah, I was gonna say May ended on like Monday.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, see, this is the reason that I never play games in between us recording anymore, because the week goes by so fast I don't even realize what day it is half the time. Like, my job is just like, I got a new job a few months ago, in case you have been gone away for a long time, but like, I got a phone job now where it's like I'm just talking to people, so it's like I just have conversations throughout the day, and one day blends into the next day because it's just really all having conversations, and I don't really have like dates that I have to be like super worried about all the time or anything like that. I don't have like a lot of change. It's just day after day, and life just happens. It comes at you fast, kids.
Yeah,
that's why you got to sit back and smell the roses and play these games.
Yeah, my mom called me the other day. She's like, "Oh, I'll be there in a month and a half," and I'm like, "Oh crap, yeah, you are." I'm like, "We talked about that 3 months ago." So yeah, dude, like I feel ya. That's just how it is.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, $41. And last on my list, I've got Super Mario 3D All-Stars, because it's only $3 more than buying the completed box GameCube Mario Sunshine, so it's just a way better deal. Nothing says summer like Mario Sunshine. It's not the chillest game always, but I mean, you got N64, Mario 64 on there, and the GameCube version of Mario Galaxy.
No, Mario Galaxy's on the Wii.
Oh, it is a Wii game. Oh, that's right.
You can't get your recording days right. Can't get your game straight.
3 generations of game on one modern console. They're all chill Mario games. You get those summer vibes. This is my list. I'm vibing on this list. If you like this list, you've got too much money to spend on games, because that's $225 for all those games.
This man's vibing all day today. I'm surprised he made it here to the house, you guys. Okay, so before we start my list, of course, catch our episodes on your favorite podcast application or applications: Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Podcast Addict, etc. Find us on thegamedeflators.com and on Instagram and Facebook at thegamedeflators, Twitter at Game Deflators. And of course, leave a 5-star review, if not 2 5-star reviews, and maybe a 6-star review. As many reviews as you can.
All the reviews.
All the reviews.
All the vibes. Let us know what your summer vibing.
My list, I will say, is much cheaper than Ryan's, and I would have to argue Well, you kind of played it a little bit here, right? So you got your Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy 3 games in one, your Super Mario All-Stars 3 games in one. So, I mean, in total, you're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9 games on your list compared to my 5. However, quality always over quantity, folks. Always. And price point, too.
John's got a good list.
I do have a pretty good list, actually. So my first game is Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2. And, of course, you can pick this up on PS4, Nintendo Switch, and probably PS5 down the road. Like, who knows? This game's been, like, reprinted God knows how many times. PS3, I think, has a copy.
You get it on Vita?
Yeah, Vita. So, yeah, it's been reprinted a lot. But it is only $5.24 right now on the PlayStation 2, which is actually kind of shocking to me for a complete in-box copy. It's probably a greatest hits, which to me is a bane of my existence. But, you know, as I noted earlier, Final Fantasy X is one of my all-time favorite games. It is one that I could sit back right now and replay it a fourth time if I wanted to. And I've always enjoyed it. The blitzball component to it, all the collecting aspects of it, finding the different summons that you normally would not be able to find. So you've got like the Mage's Sisters, Anima, and a couple others I think that are locked up that you have to locate. The weapons, so you have like the Chocobo races, where you have to go ahead and get Titus, however you want to pronounce his name, getting his ultimate weapon and such. There's just various tasks like dodging 200 lightning bolts and swimming around various edges of places to find people's like sigils that can be added on to their weapons. Like there's so much going for that game and so many like things that you could do, like collecting monsters, like
it's a game that can keep you busy all summer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there's so much to do. Plus the sphere grid and the different directions you can go on that. Absolute blast. Totally recommend it.
What did you do with your Kimari? Because he kind of starts off in like a neutral place. You can kind of take him however. I always turned him into a secondary black mage.
I mean, we pretty much filled out the ability spheres for like almost all the characters.
Everybody. So
for us, it was like everybody was well-rounded and like dealing magic. I think when I played it the first time, I didn't really use Kimari. My main party was, of course, Tidus, Yuna, and Auron would have been the main characters there. I used Waka a lot, actually, in the second go-round. And then in the second go-round, I also played a lot with Lulu because I found the Dark Magic to be a great option for me. And then at some point, I had Lulu and Yuna as like my healers. So I had them both dealing like healing magic at some point in time. So it was an interesting experience playing that game. I want to say in total, I've probably, between the 3 times I've played Final Fantasy, I've probably put in close to 400 hours into that game in the separate times I played, if you combine them all.
That's a lot of hours.
It is, yeah, but it's a great game. So the other one I've got on here is going to be Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. I don't care what you say, that is a superior version
Link
of them. Yeah, you got Link on there. I don't care about Heihachi. I don't care about... what's his face? Spawn, I think, is in the other one on the Xbox version. Like, Link all the way. The controller was by far the better out of those 3, in my opinion. I played a lot of Smash, I played a lot of Soul Calibur, and I played a lot of Double Dash growing up. And, yeah, for sure, Soul Calibur 2 is the top of that list. I think outside of, I think it's Soul Calibur 4 or 5, this is by far my favorite Soul Calibur out of all of them. And that one is sitting at $23.74 complete in box on the GameCube, which is actually pretty affordable for GameCube games right now. Next one for my list here is Hotshots Golf 4, PlayStation 2. I've mentioned Hotshots Golf in a couple lists in the past, I think. In fact, our PSP list, I want to say I mentioned Hotshots Golf. And, dude, the Hotshots games are just, they're so relaxing. I mean, there's nothing crazy about it. They're fun. They've got great little characters. They each have their own little abilities. They've all got their own quips and things that they do. The greens in that game are just really interesting to play on. And, you know, I don't play golf in actual life, and I'm not a huge fan of watching golf, but there's something about playing golf on the PlayStation that just makes it all better. And you can pick that one up at $7.75. And I actually just picked up Hotshots Golf Open Tee, I think it is, on the PlayStation 3. So I have that coming in the mail. So that should be pretty cool. Next one, and we did play this one this week, was Ridge Racer 7 on the PlayStation 3. That one's sitting there at, it looks like, if my eyesight is playing games with me, it looks like 1802 on my eyesight. It could likely be 1602.
No, it's 18.
Okay, 1802. My eyes are terrible. And dude, Ridge Racer 7, you got the experience of Ridge Racer and Ridge Racer 7 now, or Ridge Racer 4 and Ridge Racer 7. Fantastic series. I think it's one of the most underrated racing game series of all time, or franchises. I think it gets overshadowed by things like Gran Turismo and Forza. This, to me, is probably one of the more superior racing simulators. I think graphically it's always had the other two for sure. Maybe not so much Forza, but at least during that era, I felt that Ridge Racer 7 was a better racing game out of the Gran Turismo games, or out of the racing games that were released. And I just always had a blast with the customizations and being able to sit back with like super cool like techno type beat music, going through like the various the various Grand Prix that they have, and it's just great, dude. And, like, lots of unlockables, lots of like extras you can put on your vehicle. I used to play one-on-one with my brother, and we would just have fun with that. So great game overall. And then the last one here that I've got is Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. I think that one's pretty evident.
Screams summer.
Yeah, and so that one is going to be on Xbox. That one's sitting at $22.68. Just a great game overall. We used to sell a lot of these when I worked at the game store. Like, it was never in stock for some
I've never
strange reason.
played any of those before.
Yeah, they're actually pretty fun. And I mean, it's the Dead or Alive girls, right, playing some beach volleyball, and you can't get any better than that, I guess, right, in a video game. But it's just, again, that sports vibe, that kind of chilling back, and I just love sports games, dude. Like, it's one of my what do you call it, guilty pleasures of video games is sports games. Absolutely love them, and games like this just make it all worth it. So for me, dude, my total value here, which is, I think, the best value, $77.43 for all of these games right now. And if we look at the overall list, top game in terms of price is $62.25 for that copy of Wind Waker you got. You know, if you have a Wii U, though, you could pick that game up right now. I think it's brand new for $50. So used, you might be able to get it for $35. But I can understand the wanting of a GameCube version, not only for collectible aspects, but just preferring the GameCube controller over playing it on like the Wii Remote Pro or whatever, and or the Wii Pro remote, and or that touchscreen. I could definitely see the appeal to that on a GameCube instead. But the overall game value that I had that was cheapest,
best value game.
Yeah, best value game is going to be that $524 Final Fantasy X.
That's like, you can't not pick that up.
Yeah, like you have to. So I think in terms of,
like, if you need a doorstop, just buy a box copy of Final Fantasy X. Probably about the same cost as an actual doorstop.
Yeah, and then you get to play Final Fantasy X. Yeah, exactly. Like it acts in both ways. And dude, I thought we both had some pretty good lists here overall. I mean, let us know in the comments whose list you felt was better here for summer. But I mean, I would be down to play any of these. But let's we played two of them, so let's kind of talk a little bit about our two games that we played.
Yeah, so we played some Ridge Racer, and I mean, I had never played any of the Ridge Racer until we played the R4 for the PS Classic, and I thought it was awesome. This game was good too. I mean, I'm still not the best driver. I definitely came in last place versus John and the computers. So, you know, it's still fun though. Like, there is something about, like, just like the drift controls are interesting, and the tracks that we raced on were nice. The visuals look great. The cars look great.
It's held up very nicely over the last, 10, 12 years.
Yeah, and I would definitely play more of these games, and I think it would be fun to, like, kind of go through the history of Ridge Racer and see, you know, some of the evolution between them, see how, you know, they added systems, because, like, that's the thing, like, at the level we get in, and I usually look at these games, like, I'm sure I could be way better at Ridge Racer, like, even if I was just able to go in and do some of the fine tuning, you know, like the stuff that the game builds out for you in these extra systems to give you more control and give you the ability to, you know, be able to, you know, compensate for some of your weaknesses with better handling or better acceleration or whatever through parting your car out differently and really getting that custom feel. And I just haven't had enough exposure to get to that point, but, like, I can definitely see it. And when we were playing, I was, like, saying that it really gave me vibes for, like, Cruising America, like the arcade games and stuff, and talking about how I'd love those. And, you know, arcades are another huge summertime thing. Like going to the arcade and killing a day just playing games and stuff. And of all the sports games or of all the things on your list, like racing games in an arcade, that screams summer. I'm all about that. I had a fun time with this, and we should play more Ridge Racer again at some point.
Yeah, I think I've got, it might be sealed actually, but I've got, I think it's Evolution, Ridge Racer Evolution, I think is what it's called on PlayStation 2. But yeah, there's plenty of Ridge Racer games. Obviously, there's up to 7 at bare minimum, right? So I think we should play some more of these and maybe even jump into a Need for Speed game or two down the road too. See how those play out.
I played some Need for Speed in the past.
I think I have a couple. I might have Hot Pursuit and I might have, God, what was it? I forget the name of it, but I think I've got Hot Pursuit for sure. Okay, and so the other game we played, and I guess to comment on Ridge Racer 7 as well, like I said, very underrated, one of my favorites. It was probably one of the first PlayStation 3 games I actually purchased, right after it was Resistance, and no, it was Resistance and this one. Those were the first 2 games that I purchased, and I just had a blast playing them. And Ridge Racer 7, I don't know why, but it seems so difficult to get your hands on that one out in the wild. Like you have to somehow like always purchase it on like eBay or something. I've never seen it in a game store, oddly enough. So yeah, there's that one. And then we played a little bit of Mario Sunshine as well. I haven't beat Mario Sunshine, funny enough. I got super far in it, but my wife hates the GameCube controller, and that's what we were playing it on. So she was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like, we're done. Like, we'll play another game because I just can't take the controller. But now that I've got 3D All-Stars, it might be one of those that I look back and potentially restart that game. So we'll see on that one. But that's a game that I've had a lot of fun with in the past. I do hate the controls as well in terms of the overall like jetpack or the flood system. And aiming is a complete bitch in that game. And then obviously like floating around can be a pain in the ass as well, depending on what you're trying to get onto. But you do get used to it after a while, and it becomes a lot easier. But I can see why some people would have some difficulty with this game and wanting to play it. But dude, story-wise, it's, for me, one of the top Mario games from a story perspective. I do always find it funny that everybody knows how to speak other than Mario.
Yeah.
So that's always funny.
It's the one where Mario goes to jail and gets sentenced to do community service.
Yeah, like it's got like one of the wonkiest stories for any game that I'm, outside of like, what is it? Mario's Time Machine or one of those.
Yeah.
Or Mario goes missing. Like it's definitely, Mario does community service is what this game should really be called. But it's a blast, dude. Like I enjoy it. It's one of my favorites, I think.
It's not the best Mario game. Like I definitely do prefer some other Mario games, like even not classic Mario games. Like I love the Paper Mario series, and Thousand Year Door has like a great like tropical island with like pirates and stuff that's very summery vibe going on, and like a bunch of different excursions that you go on the different like parts of the world, and that's all very travel and has that same kind of feeling too. But it's literally the mecca of summertime games is Mario Sunshine, so it had to go on this list. We had to play it a little bit again. I think it's a great let's play game to watch, just because it can be frustrating to play, but like it's definitely it's on this episode, so we probably never have to talk about it again, honestly, after today.
Well, I would say that for Mario Sunshine, the most frustrating thing that I found was trying to get the I guess what is it, the shines or whatever they're called, the shine spirits, having to pick those up at the end of those like crazy puzzle type levels where you're like jumping across like all these different things.
The sand block ones, the ones where you don't have like flood and stuff.
Yeah, those are by far like break your controller worthy.
Yeah,
all of those 100% like would want to destroy my controller if I could on those. But yeah, I mean overall,
it's also kind of hard to go back from Odyssey where you can just keep collecting stuff and you don't get booted out of the level and then you have to start the level again.
Yeah, it's true, especially if... Yeah, no, you're right. Well, no, I think Odyssey, you have your worlds and then you have your areas you can jump into and do different things in there. But yeah, you're right. It's, collect the red coins type of situation. I guess actually, no, I'm thinking more Mario 64. But like, collect the red coins in GameCube and you get through like 6 of them, but then your character dies and you got to go in and do all over again. Like,
yeah.
it's a pain in the ass. The puzzle levels are even worse because, once you lose however many lives or get to a point where you just can't pass it, it's just so frustrating. So that would be one of the reasons it's not on my summer list, because I'd probably not be chill on it. I'd probably destroy my GameCube controller.
I went all visual on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think looking at these games, man, obviously we'll rate the Mario Sunshine as far as the 3D All-Stars. We're not going to look at this from the GameCube perspective, because that's what we played on, was the Switch. But, at the $44 roughly range, $47 range, would you say that game is currently inflated or perfect or just right?
So it's hard to say on that one, because it is like a classic. Like, people are always going to want that game. I feel like with how Nintendo does all its games and how well they hold their value versus how frustrating it can be and how it's not always like the go-to Mario game, I think that it is kind of just right. Like, even though it's on the expensive side, I think that that's it just holding its value and being, it is the only like Mario game on GameCube, right? Like, there was no other like Mario platformer on GameCube.
Not offhand that I can think of. No, I don't think there was.
Yeah, it stands out as holding its place there, and I think even though it's kind of expensive, it kind of deserves to be expensive.
Well, I guess you could argue that, yeah.
And you get the 3D All-Stars still. Like, I know they're not making it anymore, but it's still widely available. You get that for, even new, you're getting all your money's worth from that.
Yeah, so as of June 2021, yeah, you could pick up a ton of these copies, or at least one copy at an affordable price still, which is nice. Yeah, and I think for Ridge Racer, man, in terms of the overall value, 1802, I mean...
that sounds fine.
Yeah,
it looks good. It's a racing game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game could easily be a $20 game, no problem. If you find it for $15, you're doing yourself a favor, but I think it's just right. 1802, I think it's a good price point for this game.
And for the most part, unless you're a racing game person that's going to pick up all the racing games, like, this is one you could just pick up, and this could be your racing game.
Yeah.
You don't really need to get like a new racing game. Like, once you've got one you like, unless you want the challenge or the updated graphics or the updated cars, like, for the most part, or new tracks, I guess, is important. Like, there's lots of reasons to get new games, but this is a game you could just have this one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you'd be perfectly happy just playing this one too. All right, man. Well, dude, I'm ready to play some games, man, for sure. It's starting to get hot outside. I'm not going to want to do stuff outside here pretty soon in the new house, so it might be time to start picking up some of these titles and playing them. Of course, Conker's comes first, and then, dude, I'm stoked to see what else I've got on my list that I want to play.
E3's right around the corner. We'll see some more. We'll talk some more about new games next week.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll see how all that goes. E3 is going to be interesting. That's for sure. All right, well, this has been episode 134 of the Game Deflators Podcast, Summer Games to Chill To. My name's John.
I'm Ryan.
And thanks for listening.